Hello, 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 everyone. Come on into the webinar. My name is Linda Peavy. I'm going to be your host for today, and I am so glad that you decided to hop on because this is the way to begin the new year with a discussion about grants and how grants are very much still available. So I am so glad that you are here with me. I am Linda Peavy and I'm in Ohio. So let me know where you're coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out right now. Let me know where you are coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. Let me know where you are coming in from. I'm in Ohio. Hello, Carlita from Bluffton, South Carolina. Who else? Who else? Who else is here with me? Let me make sure that everybody can hear me and see me okay as you are coming in. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know. Let me know where you are coming in from. Again, my name is Linda Peavy, and we're going to talk about grants today. So let me know your city, your state. Give your city, your state a shout out. All right. Let me know. I see other people coming in. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know. All right. Who else is here with us? I'm in Ohio, by the way, Central Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, our state's capital. All right. Timothy from Lakeland, Georgia. How far are you from Atlanta, Timothy? I'm in Atlanta quite a bit. So how far are you from Atlanta? Lakeland, Georgia. Let me know where you're coming in from and just making sure everything is getting uh, ready here. All right, all right, all right. Looks like everything is good. Okay, there we go. All right, who else do we have with us? Orlando from Los Angeles. Oh, you're a long way from Atlanta, Timothy. I thought maybe you were a little close. I usually go to like Marietta, near Atlanta. But you're quite a ways away. Well, welcome everyone. Come on into the webinar. We're going to get started because I do have a lot of information to share with you today. A lot of information to share with you today. So as people come in, they will be admitted. And yes, everything is being recorded so you know. All right, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is share my screen so that we can start the presentation because again, I have a lot of information to share and I am so glad that you decided to hop on with me today because this is information that you are absolutely positively going to need as we move through, especially this time of the year. I'm so glad you're with me because this is absolutely the best time to secure grants. The beginning of the year is when you have a lot of grants that are first come, first serve. So you need to be grant ready. All right. All right. Right and win grants for Black organizations. So let's get moving. Let me introduce myself formally. My name is Linda Peavy. And yes, they do call me the grants queen. I've been in this industry for 18 years now. And yes, I've won almost $20 million for clients. But about 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to teach. You know, it's one thing to fish and it's another thing to teach how to fish. And so I wanted to start teaching organizations how to write grants so that you are able to have this skill set for yourself, save some money, write on grant writers, and be successful. Now, my Grant Writing Academy has a little over 3,000 students in it, small businesses and nonprofits. All right. So, speaking of that, let me know who is here with me. Let me know in the chat. Are you a nonprofit or are you a small business? Let me know which, nonprofit or small business. And yes, I have provided training to over 30,000 organizations. And yes, I do teach. All right, let's see who is here with me. Excellent, excellent. Alicia and Carlita, you have both. Let me tell you why that's important. Because there are some grants that are only geared towards nonprofits, right? And then there are other grants geared towards small businesses. So by having both, it puts you in the best possible position, right, to get grants. And also, there may be circumstances where literally your nonprofit can write into your grant application services provided by your small business. Yes, you can double dip. All right. Now, again, I now teach, and you may be familiar with some of these organizations: Goldman Sachs, the Urban League, National Association of Women Business Owners. I teach grant writing for them all. And I'm a proud alumnus of the 10,000 Small Businesses program with Goldman Sachs. They're a great partner. My undergrad and grad degrees are from the University of Akron. Go Zips. And yes, I do consider this to be my mission and my passion and my purpose to teach you how to write and win grants. You know, these days you've got to show your receipts, right? There's so much craziness over this internet, these internets. So I wanted to show you that I've been in this industry for a very, very long time. And now is the time for you to learn how to get grants. Now, I wasn't always called the grants queen, though. I started my career in publishing. I was a publishing executive in Pennsylvania. And then, as what sometimes happens, life started to happen and I got hurt, and I got hurt bad. And so that was the end of this elaborate publishing career where I was flying all over the country. I went from traveling the world to literally putting everything I own in a storage unit and moving back in with my sister in Cleveland, Ohio. I never thought that I would move back home to Cleveland, coming in a wheelchair, but I did. So when I tell you people that I know how it feels to start from nothing, I know how it feels to start from scratch because that's exactly what I had to do. I'm in Cleveland. It took me 2 years to recuperate. And after the 2 years, I couldn't even find a job because my experience was in publishing in Pennsylvania. Cleveland is not some publishing mecca, okay? So that's when I started LaPav Consulting. I started my small business. It's been 18 years. And yes, I started on a dining room table. One of my first contracted positions, though, was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. So I took that position, and boy, was I in for a surprise. That was like my first, nice position, having my small business. And so I'm a contractor, right? I'm the executive director of this nonprofit. I wasn't there for maybe 2 weeks before I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant that would literally pay for my salary. That's what this help sign is about, because boy, did I need it. People, just like some of you, I had never seen a grant before. I had no knowledge of grants. And now I'm being asked to write a grant to pay for my salary as the ED of the nonprofit. Oh, you talk about pressure. So again, I know where many of you are. You need funding, you need money, but you never seen a grant before. You don't know anything about grants. That's where I was. But you know what I did? I researched. I wrote that grant. I won the grant. It paid for my salary for an entire year. So I'm here to give you proof that yes, you can not only write grants, you can win grants with zero experience, like many of you who have not written one single grant before. It is possible. And then all of a sudden, after I left that job, grant writing became my most sought after service. So I went from writing $500 grants to $500,000 grants. All of these applications that I was writing became approved, right? And so what I need for you to know is that the more grants I wrote, the more money I got, the larger dollar grants that I got, and that's what I want for all of you. You can start at zero, but the more you start getting experience, the more you write, the more you are approved, the more grants you're going to get. But keep in mind, people, it started with zero experience. Zero experience. All right. Thank you, Shad. Thank you. Now, I want you to see yourself in a few months from now? Where are you going to be? It's January. This is talk about a fresh start. Will you be able to stop asking your family and friends for funding, right? You know grants can pay for expenses. Will you be able to stop 100% self-funding your organization? I know many of you are reaching in those pockets and those pocketbooks daily, right? Daily. How many of you daily to try to fund this nonprofit or small business that you have? You know that grant funding is not paid back. I want to see your name on this money truck. I want you to claim the money truck. As a matter of fact, I want you to put money truck in the chat. Just put money truck in the chat because you can stop being this one person operation that is draining you. I was there. I was that one person operation. You can use grant money to help hire support. Yes, even if it's a contractor. Because being that one person operation, I'm going to tell you, it gets old quick. Okay? It gets old quick. All right? But it doesn't have to be this way. There's grant money available, which I'll show you. Yes, even for Black organizations. All right? So, what are we going to cover? We're going to talk about why we're here. I will go through the grant landscape. You need to know what's going on with grants. I will give you some grant basics. I will talk about how you become grant ready. We're going to go through this step by step. The grant search, how you find the funders, and then that grant application. Then we're going to get into AI. There is no way, right? We're going to talk about grants without talking about AI. It is a game changer. Then I have a surprise for you. Then we're going to do the Q&A. Speaking of Q&A, as we move through, drop your questions in either the webinar chat or the Q&A, one or the other, because it makes the Q&A go faster at the end if you do one or the other, either the webinar chat or the Q&A form. All right. And yes, people know me know I don't do the fluff. I don't have time to do fluff. You're going to get information today that's going to change how you go about securing money for your organization. All right. Now, but also you should know right from the beginning, like I keep it real, people. We're all family today, so I keep it real. All right. Is fear preventing you from getting funding? Are you afraid to write the application, to submit the application because you might get rejected? Black organizations, you need help with funding, and that's why I'm here. Do not let your fear keep you from funding because there are a lot of organizations, including my students, right, who were scared. And now they're winning, I'm not kidding, six-figure grants. Your success is always going to be on the other side of your fear. So you've got to start this new year off right. Put the fear behind you, or you know what? You do it scared. We're talking about free grant money for you. You may have to just do this scared because this is free money we're talking about. Now, if you can afford to hire a grant writer, great. They're about $5,000 on the low end per application. I know I used to charge significantly higher. You can do this, people. You can learn the skills to place your organization in a position to write and win these grants. Because guess what? Grant writing has changed. You're not writing some 100-page document. A lot of these applications now, 2 and 3 pages. So you can do this. No, you don't have to be a professional grant writer. You don't have to be a professional writer. You need the skills though, and you can learn the skills. But you also need to know there's a process. So this is what I learned after having won over $18 million in grants. There's a process. And that's what I'm going to show you today. And guess what? It is about more than what you write in the application. All right? All right. Here is the good news for you. Oh, and by the way, I said at the beginning, yes, it's being recorded. People, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. But I need a promise. I need for you to promise me that you're going to share this information with other organizations because you're getting it free. I'm not charging you for this webinar, I'm not charging you for the replay. You will not be charged for the replay. The replay will be given to you free of charge. Just share it. Share with another Black-owned business or Black-led nonprofit that needs to have this information about these grants. So promise me you're going to share it. Don't keep this to yourself. We are in a community. We have to have each other's backs. All right? All right. All right. I'm saying it. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. Make sure you ask the questions. All right. Make sure you ask the questions. Now, what do you need to know? Federal grants do not equal all grants, people. Now, I know that the federal grants have been cut, right? I understand that. But guess what? Not all money comes from federal grants. This is where people they get it wrong. They're getting it wrong. They're sitting in a corner scared because it's like, oh my gosh, there are no grants. Nothing could be further from the truth, people. There are billions of dollars in grants available every day. They're coming from private foundations, community foundations, corporate foundations, and family foundations. The funding shifted. It's your corporations that are providing grants to small businesses. It's your private foundations, community and family foundations providing grants to nonprofits. You're covered, whether you have a small business or a nonprofit. And guess what? They are actually increasing the amount of their funding. Why? Because they're trying to fill in the gaps caused by the federal grant cuts. Because of the federal grant cuts, the money is still needed, people. The need didn't change. Whatever the reason that you open up your small business or your nonprofit, that need is still there. Just because the federal government decided to cut grants didn't mean that the need went away. And guess what? Many of your state and local governments, they have grant money. Have you met with them? Have you discussed this with them? Please don't believe that every state and municipality grant comes from the federal government. Not true. A lot of states raise their own money. Right now, there's a $30 million grant in the state of Ohio for small businesses. There's a $30 million, $20 million grant in the state of Michigan. Yes, your state and local governments have grants. Have you met with your local municipality, your city government? Do you know that they have grants? Have you met with them? If not, you need to be doing it. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let me show you how you still get the DEI money. Now we know that again, the federal government cut DEI funding. They wanted foundations to cut their DEI funding, but guess what? This is where foundations give to. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, it covers minorities, women, veterans, the disabled. This is where foundations give. And guess what? They are still giving to these communities. What are they doing? They shifted the language so that they wouldn't feel the wrath coming out of the White House. So instead of talking about terms like black or women, they just shifted their language. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. This is how my students who are Black organizations, and an overwhelming majority of my students are Black organizations, they're still winning five-figure grants, six-figure grants right now, like right now. Tweak that language, people. I want you to focus on the outcomes and the need being provided by your small business or nonprofit, doesn't matter. Let me show you what you need to do. This is just an example. Let's say you have a program that offers youth development opportunities for Black boys. You know that's your target population. That's who you serve. You serve Black boys. Guess what? When you now describe your organization, you tweak the language. So maybe you don't say Black, maybe you say this: we provide youth development for historically underserved and underrepresented boys. You've taken out the race and you put in the issue. The challenge is that they're underserved and they're underrepresented. We know what this means. The great world knows what this means. Or serving boys disproportionately impacted by economic and educational inequities. So now you're not being pinged because you're using the word Black. You're talking about the issues. This is so important for you to get. Give me a yes in the chat if you understand what I am doing, because this is how you're still going to go after DEI money without using DEI terms. Give me a yes if you get this. This is very important for you to know. That DEI money didn't, in the foundations, guess what? It increased. They just learned how to tweak the language in those applications. So you need to know what buzzwords to look for so that you can still know where and how to get this funding. All right, I'm seeing some yeses. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, now let's go back to the grant basics. What do you need to know? Grants are not paid back. If you are a nonprofit, and many of you are, you need your 501c3. That's your tax exempt charitable organization designation by the IRS. Yes, you need it because most foundations require it. This is just for nonprofits. Now, let me talk to you small businesses for a second because many of you have real challenges in writing these grant applications. And I remember sometimes my small businesses that are in my courses, they'll read some of the information, they'll say, I don't know how to answer this. Like, I don't have a mission. I don't know what my impact is. You have to know. When you are applying for grants, you cannot treat your small business any different than a nonprofit in how you answer questions. We know it's different. Legal status is different. But in how you answer grant questions, you still need a mission statement. You still need to talk about need. Why did you open that small business? What was happening? Was there no other restaurant nearby? Right? Maybe you have a restaurant. Maybe you have an online jewelry company that focuses on sensitive skin. Maybe there wasn't any others that were successful. Why did you open? What is your impact? How many people do you serve a year? How many people are your customers a year? Are you getting testimonials saying, "Oh my gosh, this jewelry is fantastic. My neck doesn't turn green"? You still need to address this in your grant application. Even if you are a small business, you need to focus on the uniqueness. What is making you different than any other small business out there? You still have to answer these questions. And by the way, pay attention to what we are dropping in the chat because we're going to be dropping links, very important. So those of you who need that 501c3, the IRS link is in the chat. Now, everybody, look at this. This is very important. This is for those of you that are thinking, oh my gosh, there are no more grants available. Nothing could be further from the truth. These are the latest numbers, the amount of grant money provided every year. 2024 numbers came in $200 billion from foundations, corporations, and to a smaller extent, bequest giving. People, this is non-federal funding. Non-federal funding. This is what you're missing out on if you are not applying for grants and knowing how to apply for grants. Because I have never been about you writing a bunch of grant applications and getting a bunch of rejection letters, right? That's like throwing spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. No, we don't do that here. We don't do that here. All right. But I want you to see this money is available. This money is available every day. And now it's January. Oh, it's time. Now, I have a framework that my students follow, and this is how they're securing money. And I'm going to give you an overview of it today. The first thing you need to do is become grant ready. Grant ready. All right. Now, how do you become grant ready? You get those legal and financial documents together. Do you have an EIN? Do you have a 501c3 nonprofits, small businesses? Are you a legitimate organization? Do you have those articles of incorporation? Are you a legitimate business in your state? I'm in the state of Ohio. In Ohio, as a business, you must have a business license. Check with your Secretary of State. Do you have a list of your board members? If you are a nonprofit, it is required that you have a board. If you are a for-profit, it is not required, but it would be great. Your financial statement is required. That's if you're currently operating. Do you have your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement? That's your annual, you need your annual budget. What is your annual budget? What do you expect your revenues to be? What do you expect your expenses to be? And we'll talk a little bit more about this later. If you are seeking grants, you need a grant budget. How much money is needed? Look, if your entire budget is $500,000, please don't start applying for grants of $500,000. It doesn't necessarily work that way because some organizations will only give you up to a percentage of your total budget. So with your grant budget, how much money do you need? Is it a particular project? And then where are you going to use the money specifically if it's for a program or a project? You need to lay out that budget. You want $10,000, where are you spending it? Maybe half is on contractors or staff. Maybe a part of it is for your lease or marketing or supplies. Be prepared. Now, the grant budget is going to change based on, of course, what grant you apply for. But that annual budget, you need to have that, people. Next, you have to be organizationally ready. Do you have a mission and a vision? Do you have a history? What are your services or your products or your projects? Everything should be written out and ready. Who are you targeting? Let me give you a clue. You can't help everybody. You cannot help everybody. This is one of the biggest issues I see. I also do business coaching. This is one of the biggest issues I see. Not defining your target population. Let's say you open up a restaurant. What kind of restaurant is it? Who are you serving? Is it a soul food restaurant? Is it an Italian restaurant? That's for people who like Italian food, right? Is it for people who live within maybe a 5 mile radius of the restaurant? You can't help everybody. Do you have a tutoring program after school? What are the grade levels? K through 3, 5 through 8? You cannot help everybody. That jewelry company that you want to put online, who is it for? Is it for people who maybe have sensitive skin? Maybe all of your jewelry is maybe diamonds. It's for people like who love diamonds. Who are you helping? And your need statement. And again, this applies to small businesses and nonprofits. What is the problem you are solving? You must be able to answer this question. What is the problem you're solving? Did you create an urban garden because there was a food desert in the community? There weren't any stores to buy fresh fruits and vegetables? What is the problem you are solving? You must be able to answer this question. And then what is your impact or your desired impact? Let's say you haven't opened yet. We'll do a deep dive into some of these in a moment. And then name your community partnerships or develop them. Let's talk about the mission. It is everything. It defines who you are and what you do. But guess what? You have to align the mission to the foundation's areas of interest. Do you know that 87% of grants get rejected due to a funder mismatch? So if you are a bakery and you bake cakes, why are you sending your application to foundations that only fund manufacturers of motorcycles? Why? Don't get blindsided by the amount. I don't care if that grant was for $1 million, it's not for you. Align your mission to the mission of the foundation and where they're giving their money. Be organizationally ready. Talk about your impact. If you are currently open, what has been your impact on the people that you serve? Let me give you an example of how you do this. Let's say you have an after school program. It's not enough for you to say, I serve 150 students. That's great. But what is the impact on those students? Has there been any transformation? Right? Can you say like maybe 80% of the students improve their test scores, 60% gain confidence because of my after school program? That's change. You open up that restaurant. Maybe you started hiring only 2 employees. Maybe you ended the year with 5 employees. That's change. You've transformed somebody's life by giving them a job. Maybe people in the community, they have a great place to go to eat out. That's change. And if you have not yet opened, I want you to talk about what you expect your change to be, what you expect your impact to be. So you can say, once I open my after school program, I expect to serve 150 students. I expect to improve test scores by 80%. But impact, I can tell you right now, in January 2026 is where foundations are giving money. Either the impact that you've had or what you hope your impact will be. Okay? And make a decision. When you approach a foundation, are you asking for operating money or program project money, or maybe it's both, and it's okay. Now, you all need operating money. Let me just say that because that will pay for your admin costs. It can even pay for salaries, your lease, IT, your insurance, any operations, capital building campaigns. About 32% of foundations give general operating support. So that's not going to be every foundation. Most grants go to a particular service or a program or a project. Let's take that restaurant. Maybe she wants to start a delivery service. That could be a project where she's seeking grant money. But whatever you do, I want you to always apply to multiple foundations. Multiple foundations. I want you to tell me right now why in the chat. Tell me why in the chat you think it's important that you apply to more than one foundation at the same time. Why do you think that is important? Let me know right now in the chat. Keep in mind, people, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. This is a marathon. Right now, in the chat, why should you always be applying to multiple foundations? I want to hear from you. That's why, Delisha, you don't put all those eggs in one basket. You diversify your options. Jap, have better options of getting funded. Absolutely. Carlith, it increases your chances of funding. Jacoby, it provides this better opportunity because different organizations give different types of grants. And maybe one grant will pay for your salaries. Maybe another grant will pay for your supplies. Never ever just apply to one. Never ever just apply to one grant. It doesn't work that way. Be organizationally ready. You need community partners, every single one of you, because foundations expect collaboration. And no, it doesn't mean that this is a partnership where you're giving away a certain percentage of your profits. No, these are community partnerships. Let me give you an example. Young lady has let's say she has a program that services those that are re-entering to society from the criminal justice system. Now, you want these people to be successful, right? They've just left the criminal justice system. They are re-entering into the community. Now, she needs to be able to interview them while they're still incarcerated to make sure they qualify for her program. I want you to tell me the organization that you think she should be meeting with about her program. Let me know in the chat. Who should she be meeting with? She has a program to help those that are re-entering back into society be successful. Do you think they need housing? You don't want them to be homeless, right? Does she need to meet with a housing authority? I want to hear from you in the chat. Who should she be meeting with? When they re-enter into society, you want them to have a job, right? Should she be meeting with workforce development agencies, perhaps? Maybe get them trained? That's right, Carlita. The 100 Black men, yes, housing. You don't want them to be homeless, workforce, community businesses. Jacoby, right, because there are many businesses that literally offer the previously incarcerated programs. And yes, she should be absolutely looking for grants that will allow these people to gain housing that they don't have to pay for, transitional housing. Do you see how easy this was? We came up with maybe 5 or 6 different community partners for this one program. This is what I want you to do. This is your homework. I want you all to name 5 organizations, 5 that you're going to gain partnerships with based on your for-profit, which is your small business, or your nonprofit. That's your homework. Name 5. Now let's get to what I mentioned before, the grant budget. How much money do you need? And where are you going to spend it? Because you're going to be applying to different grants, right? One grant may be $10,000. How are you going to spend the $10,000? Another grant that you're going after may be $50,000. How would you spend the $50,000? Make sure you itemize your expenses. And in your budget narrative, you're going to explain how you use the funding. But the grant budget, you need to create that so that you can explain to the foundation exactly how you're going to use their money. And there are ways to do all of this very, very well. And that's what the people who work with me learn. Now, HESFBA, Black Organization, Sisters Against Domestic Violence. She was not a grant writer, but she won a $10,000 grant. And she says, now we have the funding to assist our next client in legal support for survivors program. She said, Linda Peavy's course really works, y'all. These are people that have never written grants before. There's a framework to this. Let's talk about the grant search. Do you have a grant research strategy? You need one. People, again, you are going to be wasting time, and you don't have time to waste if you don't have a research strategy. Know where to find grants, know how to find grants. That is a difference. Knowing where to find grants and knowing how to find grants are different. Knowing where to find grants is where you're going to go. Are you going to go to Google? Are you going to go to GrantWatch? Then how to find grants. How do you find the right funder? Remember I said before, 87% of grants are rejected because you are not applying to the right organization. Know how to find foundations that align to what you're doing. That restaurant, that restaurant may be funded by organizations that fund restaurants. You know, there are restaurant grants. Or if it's a Black-owned restaurant, I can just name probably a dozen grants already. There's one grant that gives money to brick and mortars, right? There's another grant that gives money to restaurants. There's another grant that gives money to women-owned businesses, regardless of what kind of business it is, right? There's a grant that gives funding to those who serve alcohol. I kid you not. You know that some of these alcohol companies like Hennessy and I think it's, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Tortitos, or I'm not a drinker, so Tor something. All right, some of you might know, but I know Hennessy, and there's another Tor something that has something to do with alcohol. You know that they have grants, right? They have grants and the grant application requirements. This is why organizations are failing at getting grants. They're not reading. They're not reading. You've got to read the application. So this grant maybe was for small businesses and you're a nonprofit and all you saw was $50,000 and you applied and you got an instant rejection. Have a grant strategy. Let's talk about the grant search first. You want to know where to find grants? This is where you find grants. Remember, I said this is a no fluff zone. This is where you find grants. The Foundation Directory Online is the leading source on funders. They have the list of organizations that provide the grants. Now, they're laser focused on nonprofits. This is a nonprofit site. Now, if you want to subscribe, they're $50 a month, or guess what? Free at your local library. Grants.gov, don't give up on federal grants. You know, there are still federal grants being provided. A lot have been cut, but there are still some. And guess what? Yes, they provide grants to nonprofits and small businesses. A lot of misinformation out there. I hear it all the time, like federal government, they don't provide grants to small businesses. Yes, they do. Depends on what governmental agency. Do you know how many grants that are given by the Department of Agriculture to farms? Those are small businesses. Lilly Foundation. Here's another bit of information, misinformation. Oh, Linda, churches can't get grants. Lilly Foundation is the largest funder of religious organizations. I know Black churches that have received grants. There is a Black church grant that comes out every year. You have to be a Black church to get it. This is why people, you've got to go to sources that provide correct information. You have to be a Black church to get this grant every year. So the idea that grants are not being given to Black organizations is just wrong. Grantwatch.com. They give you a grant list, a synopsis, grant station. Now, Grant Watch is $20 a week or $200 for the year. Grant Station is $200 for the year. UrbanAwarenessUSA.org, that is a Black-owned site. People, please register. They have like free training, a weekly grants list. Please, 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 UrbanAwarenessUSA.org. Are you an author, a poet, a writer, a musician, an artist, a sculptor? You should be on this site right here. Grants for creators. That's all they do is provide thousands of grants, but you have to be in the creative space. $97 a year. Search for grants all year long for $97. The grant portal is the internet's largest grant catalog. $197 for the year. Search all you want. Instrumental is very pricey. Typically, your larger organizations use it. It's great. I can tell you it's fantastic. It's $200 a month. But some of your larger organizations, that's what they use. Make sure you drop those questions into the chat. All right. Are we getting this? Now, I just wanted to show you, for those of you that are thinking, oh, I don't see any grants for Black organizations. Again, what do you have to do? You have to know how to look and where to look. I'm just going to give you a few that are either specific to Black organizations or they have a preference. Oftentimes, when you look at who they're funding, they really give Black organizations and Black nonprofits a great chance. The Beyonce grants, right? I call them the Beyonce grants. Now, we're in January. When you go to these sites, if the grant is not open, be absolutely sure to sign up for their mailing list so that you know immediately when that grant opens. Because some of these grants don't open until a little bit later. The Beyonce grant will give grants to those in the hair care industry. Maybe you have a hair care salon. Maybe you are producing hair care products. Another one is the Shea Moisture grant. That grant opens every single year. Again, hair care industry, maybe you have a salon, barbershop, U.S. Black Chambers. Now, these are your small business grants. They have a Buy Black list of grants that are geared towards Black-owned small businesses. There's another list there. HelloAlice.com, small business grants. Operation Hope, John Hope Bryant. He is here to help 1 million Black businesses. He's up to 400,000. Amber Grants for Women, they give away $30,000 every single month. Every month. In all different industries. I put fashion and interior design, I think in December. That was their focus for $10,000, but you can be a startup and get their grant money. They're one of the only organizations I know where they will give you grant money based on an idea. So their $10,000 startup grant, you don't need to have made one penny. It can be based on an idea. Ford Foundation, they have a grant for Black families. I won't go through all of these, your nonprofits. Let's look at Amarillo. Because some of you are thinking, Linda, I'm too small. I'm too small. You know, what do they call solopreneurs get grants. You could be a super small nonprofit and get a grant. They focus on only giving grant money to small nonprofits. And guess what? You can be an all volunteer nonprofit and get grant money. You may be saying, Linda, I don't pay myself. I don't even have staff to pay. All volunteer nonprofits to get grant money. And here is for what was for me a huge surprise before I started really getting into grants. Banks. Do you know that banks are some of the largest providers of grant money? Grant money, people. Money you don't pay back. I'm going to give you one, two, three, four, five, like five hot leads right now. All of these organizations give grants. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TD Banks, Truist, and Citizens Bank. Don't sleep on your banks. Don't sleep on your banks. Find a bank in your community. Maybe there's a regional headquarters, right, in your area, a national headquarters in your area. There we go. Carlitha, hello. Everybody look into the chat, please. Carlitha got a $20,000 grant from Truist. People, you have to know where to go to get accurate information. You have to know where to go to. There is so much misinformation about this. How many of you knew that banks even provide grants? Let me know. Let me see in the chat. How many of you even knew that banks provide grants? Here we've got Carlitha, $20,000 grant from Truist. From Truist, right? Know where to go. Be in a community where you can get this type of information. And yes, you're going to have to build some relationships because some of you are like, Linda, I don't know if I have time for this. Remember what I said before that some grants are 2 and 3 pages? You're not writing a 100-page document anymore. And I have a question for all of you that I want to answer in the chat. Do you have time to get free money? Do you have time to get free money? I want to see in the chat if you have time to get free money. Do you have time to get free money? I'm seeing yeses. So it sounds to me like you've got time to get free money. So if you've got time to get free money, I need for you to spend just a little bit of time on the process to get the free money. You're going to build some foundation relationships because guess what? This is the number one funding move that almost nobody makes. After having trained over 30,000 individuals and organizations, I have noticed one undeniable pattern. Organizations that meet with foundations win more grants, period. Period. This is the big grant meeting secret. You've got to meet with the foundation. They want to meet with you. They're considering giving you grant money. Of course, they want to know more about you. People, getting grants is not a money grab. You can't think of it. You got to change the mindset. This is not a money grab because you want to go back to that foundation in year 2, 3, 4, 5, and on from there. So meet with them. It's not hard. This is not difficult. Set up a 30-minute Zoom meeting. Set up a 30-minute Zoom meeting. We teach you how to do this. Know how to set up those meetings with these foundations. Know how to win at that meeting. I hold special webinars that literally show you how to win over these executives in those foundation meetings. I've probably set up 1,000 of these over the last 18 years. I've been in so many, I can't even tell you how many I've set up for clients. But let me give you one clue how you start off. Send them a letter of introduction. This is an email. Send them an email and just introduce yourself. Align your mission, whatever you're providing, that service or that product or program, align it to where that foundation is giving their grant money. Lay that out in the email and ask for a meeting for a potential partnership. These are foundations. This is what they do. They want to meet with you. There's nothing to be scared of. They want to meet with you. They're considering giving you grant money. This is what they do. Whatever you do, don't you ever ask for money in that email. This is what you're not going to do. You are not going to send them an email saying, I need $50,000. Can you give me $50,000? No, you're setting up a meeting in the email. In the meeting, you ask for the money. This is across the board. This is across industry. It doesn't matter whether it's a bank or a foundation or a private foundation. You're trying to get grant money. They want to know about you. They're considering giving you $20,000, $10,000, $100,000, $250,000, like one of my students. They want to know about you. So yes, set up the meeting. Now, I want to talk a bit about AI, all right? Because I can't talk about grants without talking about AI. Use it as a tool. It is not a replacement for you learning how to write. I've shown you what you need to do, how you need to write out information about your organization so that you can be grant ready and meet with these foundations and apply for these grants. There's no substitute for you needing to be able to write about your organization because what you write is what you're going to put into AI. It can't come up with this stuff for you. It doesn't know anything about your organization. Write it out and feed it to AI because it will help you to write faster and better grants. And I'm going to give you a live demonstration about this. It can help you find that funder. It can cut off hours of research time. Some of you you're searching for grants, you got 10 different tabs open. How many of you right now got 10 tabs open? 10 tabs open. You spent hours and hours and hours trying to find grants. AI can summarize that for you. Right? Be honest, right? Be honest. It just says me, 10 tabs open. You're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone. AI can help you find the funder. It can help you cut down on your research time. Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you a live example right now. I need a list of funders for this nonprofit. It's called Detroit Learning Lift. It's a nonprofit that provides free after-school tutoring in reading and math for underserved Detroit students in grades 3 through 5. Each year, the program supports more than 150 children from low-income households and under-resourced schools. Over 82% of participating students improve at least one proficiency level, and 67% of third graders meet or exceed Michigan's reading benchmark after completing the program. The organization's mission is to close early learning gaps and ensure every child has the foundation to thrive academically. Little short paragraph, right? But they have a mission. They have a paragraph about their organization. This is very brief. They've got some data. 82% improve one reading proficiency level, 67% of third graders meet or exceed that Michigan's reading benchmark. I'm going to put this into AI and I'm going to ask it to give me a list of grants just based on this one paragraph. And you're going to be able to feed it even more because you're going to learn how to write about your organization so that you can feed it even more. But let's take this one paragraph. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to start sharing again. I have my chat GPT open. I'm going to start sharing again. And you will see my chat GPT. All right, so that's it. Now I have the paid version. It's $20 a month. If you can afford the paid version, get it. If not, the regular chat GPT is fine. Now I placed in that same paragraph that we talked about, nothing more, right? But again, in order to work with AI, you need to have written out the components about your organization. And I'll show you how you can do that later. I put in the paragraph, I'm asking it one question. Please find grants that would fund Detroit Learning Lift. When you give instructions to AI, they're called prompts. So that's my prompt. That's pretty simple. Please find grants that would fund Detroit Learning Lift. And I gave it information about Detroit Learning Lift. I'm going to press here. We're doing this live. I want to see how long it's going to take to come up with a list of grants. Let's see how long it's going to take. It's thinking. So when it's thinking, it's going through the research, it's going through different websites, pulling data, pulling information. You can always get it to answer right now, but let's give it at least a few seconds so it can do its work, right? It's going through these organizations, it's searching, it's finding funds, it's finding grants for Detroit Learning Lab based on that one simple little paragraph. But again, the more you can input into AI, the better it's going to serve you, right? This is based on one little paragraph. Now let's see. Let's give it a few more seconds because again, it's searching, by the way, I can see it searching locally and nationally, and that's exactly what you want it to do. Here we go. Here are grant opportunities, 47 seconds. 47 seconds. Michigan, MLEAP out of school grant. Dollar General Literacy Foundation grant. United Way for Southeastern Michigan grant. Look at this. United Way grant. It's pulling, look at it pulling locally first. The Skillman Foundation, that's based in Detroit. The Kresge Foundation, based in Detroit, is giving me the local grants first. Now it's giving me regional grants. Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan. Keep in mind, people, this is 47 seconds. Ralph C. Wilson Foundation. I want you to tell me right now, how long would it have taken you to come up with these grants? Michigan Department of Education, right? And it's asking you, do you want me to turn this into a one-page funder list? Now, I talked about impact, right? Impact and need means you want to make sure the foundation understands that there is a need for your organization. We were able to talk a little bit about the impact, right? 82%, 67%. But I want the foundation to know that there is a need for my after school program in Detroit. So I'm going to ask, I'm doing this live. I need to show that there is a need for Detroit Learning Lift in Detroit. I need to showcase this need in a grant application. That's the prompt. I need to show that there is a need for Detroit Learning Lift in Detroit. I need to showcase this need in a grant application. That was it. Because you need to let the foundations know that there is a problem that you are solving. And look at this. It literally wrote the need statement for me, statement of need. Look at this. Look at what it did. Detroit Public Schools, in recent testing, only 13% of Detroit third graders reach reading proficiency, compared with 39% statewide. So only a small fraction of students are proficient. 7% of Detroit students were proficient or above in these core benchmark assessments. That's heartbreaking. Fewer than 16% of grades 3 through 8 students were proficient in ELA. Look at this data. It goes to the critical early literacy stats, early grade reading and math gaps. 11.7% of third graders and 13.7% of fourth graders were proficient in ELA. Then it even goes to the opportunity gaps. There's a high rate of poverty in Detroit. This is your justification. It literally wrote it for you. I want you to tell me how long it would have taken you to just come up with this data. It used what, 4 or 5 different resources. Tell me into the chat how long it would have taken you to come up with this data. And how long did it take? I think that was about 30 seconds. I think that was about 30 seconds. Right? Jasmine says forever. I wouldn't even know where to start. And did you see how easy it was? What did I ask? I need to show that there's a need for my program. I need to showcase this need in a grant application. That is about as simple as a prompt as you can get. I try to keep prompts very simple. All right. Now, let's go back to, let me stop sharing and start sharing again. I want to go back to here. AI is amazing. This is how you can write 5 times faster with AI. Cut your research time. That took seconds. It would have taken some of you days. So this is what you can do with AI. So I want you to turn like that next funding meeting into funding. I have the opportunity to create products that literally are helping organizations to secure grants. Now you can hire a grant writer. Again, get ready to come up out of that pocket. You need to work within a framework. My students work within a framework. That's how they're winning grants, with so many other organizations are not. Someone said, I wouldn't even know where to begin. You don't know where to begin. You don't have a framework. You're spending 20 plus hours per grant. No need to do that. There is no need to do that any longer. Not when you have a framework, not when you have a strategy. You don't want to start all over again with every new grant. No way. That is a waste of time. And we don't have time to waste, right? If you're not in the community, you are losing time and all the misinformation. So when you come into a community, you save time and frustration. You get your answers or your questions answered. You get counsel on what grants to apply for. You find the foundation personnel that you need to meet with, right? You get writing tips. You get grant updates. I have a Facebook community where we continue to flood it with what grants are available, and you get accountability because this grant money is available. This is why my students, the nonprofits and the small businesses, are getting 5 and 6 figure grants right now as we speak. I have 3 opportunities for you to do it yourself with support. I don't believe in leaving anybody without support. This is do it yourself with support. I have a grant writing course. This is literally how I won over $18 million. I put it in a course. This will teach you how to write about your organization from soup to nuts. How do you write about your history, your mission, your need statement? Just write it. Because what you write, you can then plug into AI, but you've got to be able to write it first. So this is my original grant writing course. I have 3,000 students in this course, and so many of them are winning money because I teach them how to write every part of that grant narrative. And I teach you how to write about your organization. And I teach you how to use those models that I showed you, Grant, what is it, Grant Portal, Grant Watch. And then every single lesson in my course, remember I said you get support. Every single lesson has a little discussion starter where if you hit that discussion starter, you ask a question that comes directly to me. I serve as your grant coach. You want to know where to ask for funding? We have a 24/7 Facebook group. You come into that group and you say, Linda, I need help with this particular program. Where do you think I should be looking? Do you know what you should be asking for in terms of your grant budget? You can't ask for $1 million from every organization. It doesn't work that way. So I'm going to serve as your grant coach. This course is 12 modules, 35 lessons. I include videos. Some people are visual learners. You get real grant examples. You get tasks to do. At the end of this course, you will have your grant template. I'm going to say that again. At the end of this course, you will have a grant template. If you want to refine your answers, you can stick them in AI. And the bonus is you get an hour of group coaching. I provide live group coaching every month, live. And then the private Facebook group. And I even give you a list of 600 organizations that provide grants to get you off to a good start. My course has been audited 3 times now. It's worth $5,000. And you'll notice that I keep my courses reasonable. I don't ever want the price to be another hurdle for you. So while the course has been audited at a value of $5,000, I charge $497 every day, $497. Because you came on the webinar, you can take $200 off and pay $297 for the full course. That includes my live group coaching calls once a month, the Facebook group, the list of funders, and yes, we have a 2 payment plan as well. No code is needed. You've got 3 days with no code. It's $297. Now, are you ready for AI? If you're ready for AI, let's say you've already written something out and you want to be able to do this fast. You saw how fast it is, blazing fast. You want to cut time with your research. It took me 2 years to create this AI course. It is everything you need to know about writing grants with AI. I know of 2 other courses that are in depth on the market. They're both over $600 and they're both by universities. This is an 8 module course. You will learn how to write 5 times faster. You will learn how to absolutely cut 80% of your research time. It's worth $3,000. It's regularly priced at $497. This is an introductory price of $147. It will not remain that. Okay. I built a custom GPT and put it in the course. It's all you need. This is what you need. You can have your free, remember, ChatGPT is free. I have a custom GPT. You could ask it anything about AI and grant writing. It's going to help you. I have 150 prompts. Remember, I wrote the prompts out. I have 150 prompts that you get with this course so that you're not thinking, what should I ask it? It's all there for you. It can help you create reusable templates. It will help you automate those grant budgets, right? So many of you like hate to see the grant budget. It will help. It will create budgets for you, by the way. It will create your grant budget for you. You tell it how much money you want to ask in your different areas, it will create the budget for you. And yes, you still get the monthly group coaching and you still get access to the Facebook group. And what we're doing now is also providing a two payment plan. It's like two payments of $97 or $147. You get 8 modules that cover every part of a grant application. And then how you edit. You know, you can edit with AI. Let's say the grant says you need to write 500 words. You've written 700 words. Put it into AI, put it into this program. It will get it down to 500 words. It's called the AI powered grants Accelerator. Write winning proposals faster. All right. The links to buy these products are in the chat. It is a crazy deal is what it is. Again, do the research yourself. Research an AI course for grant writing. I know of two. Maybe that changed late last year, like in December, there were two, and they were over $600, both by university. And by the way, you get this forever. There's no expiration date on the initial course that will help you write about your organization. There's no expiration date on the AI course. No expiration date. You have it forever. All right. Now, for those of you, you're like, I don't want to write the grant template. I don't even want to write a grant template. I don't have time to write the grant template. Do it for me, Linda. This is literally by popular demand because those of you who know me know we were not doing done for you services. But I saw such a need of organizations. They don't have time to sit down and write out that grant template. So we're doing it for you. This is the done for you grant prep package. We are going to prepare all the documents for you. You're going to have a customized grant template based on your organization. We're going to write about your mission and vision, your organizational history, your target population, your statement of need, your program, project, or service description, your goals, your outcomes, your evaluation plan. We're going to help you create a list of partnerships. We're going to absolutely help you with the budget, the sustainability, and write your impact statement. We are literally writing this for you. So yes, it includes a written budget. Some people pay $1,000 just to have organizations, I kid you not, write a budget for them. And we're going to give you a 2-page executive summary. That document, that's your anchor document. So when you are meeting with organizations, you want to give them a summary of who you are and what you do. We write it for you. And you get a strategy call with me. All of that is included in a package that's worth $10,000 because we're doing this for you. We're creating this grant template for you that you're going to use as your grant application so that when you start applying for grants, you've got a phenomenal template to use. And we are going to throw in the AI course that's going to be $497 soon. It's only $147 now if you want to buy it separately, but we're throwing it into the Done For You grant package. If you want to meet with me to talk about this package more, send me an email. Melissa, if you could just put my email address into the chat room, that would be great. hello@grantwritingfornonwriters.com. So if you're interested in the package that's worth $10,000 that you're only going to pay $997 for, one and done, then I would be happy to talk to you more about it. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal deal because all of this is going to be written for you. All right. Melinda, this is just in December, people. Most of the people that come to me, they've never written a grant before. So these are not professional grant writers. Melinda, she shared in December, I wrote a grant and won $5,000. to purchase a flight simulator. She's a nonprofit. Thank you so much, Linda Peavy. I love your courses and learn by applying your methodology. Life Renew Corporation, her first grant ever, $7,000. That was in December. She said, thank you a million. It was worth the investment. Heading to the library to pull more available grants. She went to the library. Remember I said go to the library for the foundation, directing online? That's how she learned about this grant. She said, I wrote a grant following your steps. $7,000. Nicola won $250,000 last year. $250,000. Let me tell you, she didn't ask for that. She asked for $50,000 a year over 2 years. They took one look at her grant application that she learned how to write through us, and they were like, wait a minute, like, this is phenomenal. Can we counter? How would you like for a foundation to give you more money than you asked for? She asked for 50,000 over 2 years. They said, no, we need you to expand this to our other locations. Will you accept $250,000 for the next 6 months? And for those of you who are thinking that for-profits don't get grants, she is a for-profit. Whitney won $200,000. She is a doula organization. Students following a framework. Kimberly, remember I said these applications don't have to be long. 4-page application got her $84,000. She said my company won $84,000 to run our program at 2 local high schools. She said, Linda, this was the easiest application I've ever written, but she knew what to write. She knew what to write. 4-page application, $84,000. These are all Black organizations, by the way. For those of you who are thinking that Black organizations are not getting grant money. We're done. But I have a question for you. Where do you want to be in 3 months? Do you still want to be frustrated, or do you want to be funded? Don't enter into this January the same way you left December. Leave December where it was. Leave December where it was. Get the help. Get the help that you need. There's a process to this. This is what I've learned after 18 years of being in this industry. It's Q&A time. So we're going to stop sharing the screen. The first thing I want you to do though, a couple of things before you leave. This is important because I believe in manifestation. I want every single one of you to write for you, not for me. I want you to write for you into the webinar chat. I am ready to get grant money. All of you right now. I am ready to get grant money. It's January, people. If you're not going to be ready now, when are you going to be? This is the best time. Do you know that the first come, first serve grants start in January? Jasmine, I'm ready to get grant money. Who else? Is she by herself? I'm ready to get grant money. Carletha, I'm ready. Carletha, you're ready to get more grant money, right? More grant money. And let me tell you, this is how the foundation industry works. Once you start getting grant money, you know it's easier to get other grant money because foundations see, oh, that foundation, they believed in your mission. They believed in your organization. Maybe we need to give you a second thought. Shelly, Eileen, Alicia, I'm ready to get grant money. Like, write this for you. Don't write this for me. Write this for you. I'm ready to get grant money. Now, let me show you something really quick. I want to show you how you buy the courses for those of you who are asking. I'm going to share my screen and show you how you buy the courses. This is the AI powered grant course. That's $147. This is literally when you go to the page, if you want to know what's in the course, scroll down. It gives you all of the modules. I show you how to reframe your DI. I'll show you how to use AI to edit. I'll show you how to use AI to build partnerships. I'll show you how to find grants with AI, how you create your grant proposal with AI, how you have a game plan with AI. It's $147, people, or 2 payments of $97. And let's say you spend the $147. This is what I want you to show you. You have the opportunity to meet with me directly. This is a private grant session to strategize. That's normally $497. Once you buy it with a course, it's only $247. So you get half price off of that expert grant writing session with me, oh, I go over your mission, your vision, your infrastructure, everything in that hour. And you actually leave with a strategy, with notes, and with the video. So if you want to meet with me privately, click that box, add it onto your order. So this is the AI course. Let me go to the larger grant writing course that includes everything, soup to nuts. How do you write a grant? This is it here. That should be different. That price should have been reduced. So let me make sure this price should be reduced. So let me make sure. But you see it's $4.97. But let me quickly make sure that is reduced to where it is supposed to be. Because I don't want you paying the $4.97. You have the opportunity. While I'm doing this, please drop your questions. Drop your questions, please, into the QA, the Q&A, or either the Q&A box or the webinar chat, either one. Drop your questions while I am making sure this is the right price because I want it reduced. It should be reduced. So let's just make sure it is reduced. 9607. Okay, hang on just a second. Make sure you drop your questions. 96072. Okay, I want to make absolutely sure. There we go. Let me make sure this is reduced to the right amount. This is very important. I want you to get the reduced cost. There we go. There we go. All right. I am making sure these are all accurate right now. And yes, there is absolutely a two payment plan as well. There's a two payment plan of $175 a month. So this is what you get. All right, so this should have updated everything. All right, I think we are good to go. All right, I think we are good to go. Oh, I'm so glad I saw that because I want you to have the discounted price. Other people are paying the $4.97. I want you to have the discounted price. So there we go. All right, let me start. Let me share my screen again. There we go. Because I want to show you just a little bit of what you get in the full course. I'm going to share my screen. Thanks for hanging in there with me. There we go. All right, so the full course is $297 or two payments of $175. This is what you get about grants. I teach you how to write. I teach you how to tell your story. What should you be doing before you even apply for a grant? I take you through every part of that grant narrative, your organization overview, the project, the budget, sustainability. I give you grant examples. I give you, there you go, a list of over 600 funders. That's all in the original grant writing course for $297. And also, sure enough, you have the opportunity to meet with me separately. So let's go back. Let's say you hit, here, let's make sure that's right. Let's say you hit purchase. You still have the opportunity to meet with me privately for $247. All right. So I think that answered those questions. All right, let's go back to Q&A. All right, let's start with the questions. Given that I'm a small business, should I put marketing or supplies as an expenditure primarily using for wanting a grant? That's totally up to you. Why not both? Why can't it be both? It can be both. They're both legitimate expenditures. You need money to market your small business, but you also need supplies. It doesn't have to be one. Your expenses can be numerous. You can have 10 different items that you need to spend grant money on, and that's okay. So maybe your 10 items total $50,000, but it's a $10,000 grant. Prioritize, where do you most need the $10,000? And ask you, this is for all of you that are wondering, like, how do I determine what the priority is? What do you most need money for? Do you need most money for marketing or supplies? How long after you awarded the grant are you expected to use it? Typically, you have a year. Is there a penalty for using the funds slowly? No. Normally, you have a year. Normally, you have 1 year to utilize your funds. But why would you wait a year? Because foundations want to know your progress. They want to know, well, how did you use the funds? And for your grantee report, remember, you have to create a report that shows where you use the money. Most of those are after 1 year, but some foundations want you to create that grantee report after 6 months, which means in 6 months, hopefully you've used some of the grant money. All right. I'm going to go back up to the top because I saw other questions as well. So I want to start at the top and get to the other questions. Let's see. All right. My grant writer and I have applied. We have not won any grants yet. However, we just started 6 months ago. Yeah, I would take a look at what is your process? What is your what do you, so I have grant writers who buy the course so that they know how to write. So that's something that you can consider, buying the course and have your grant writer go through this course. I have professional grant writers who buy the course because they need to know how to write better. My boss at the radio station got his radio station with grants. There you go, another testimonial. That's why I'm here learning how to get grants so my brother and I can grow our business. A radio station got grants, was able to exist and incorporate because they got grants. I need to know where to apply. I gave you a list. For us, we do not have clinical research infrastructure nor the application. So that is why I created my business in a rural area. Oh, nor the education. Okay. So you fulfilled a need. You saw that in the rural community, there was a need for your organization. So when you are writing about your grant, talk about that. When you write about your history, talk about why you created that organization. What was the need that you wanted to fulfill? All right. Let me see if there are any other questions. Thank you, Alicia. Let's see. Other questions. Absolutely. This includes you have to meet with all organizations, all foundations or corporations that are giving grant money. Doesn't matter if they're a bank or some other type of institution. You really need to meet with them. It is an incredible deal. An incredible deal. The course is only $297. You want to learn with AI? $147. All right. Let's see. Any other questions? I am ready to get grant money. Absolutely. That's what I want to see. You've got 3 days, just so you know. You have until Sunday to get the discount. I hope to see you in the Facebook group. I hope that you take advantage of this opportunity at the beginning of the year. I really hope to see you in the one of these grant courses, but you get access to the Facebook group in both courses. So I hope to see you in the Facebook group because when you come into the Facebook group, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna do something for you. I'm going to ask you to give me a synopsis of your organization. And when you do that, I will help you with some links to grants that are geared towards your organization because I want you to be successful. All right. Again, if you want that done for you, send me an email so that we can meet and I can describe that even more. That's the one that's $997. We create the grant template for you. If not, please don't try to do this by yourself. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be frustrating. Come in a community, you can be in this community for as little as $147 with that AI course, where you are getting the information that you need. You've got 3 days, you have until Sunday. I believe I've answered all of the questions. So whatever you do, people, it's January, it's go time. Like we just can't afford to procrastinate any longer. The grant money is available. We can help you with it. But whatever you do, don't stand still. Keep moving forward. Know that there are grants available. Know that there are ways that you as a Black organization can secure grants. If you serve Black populations, there's grant money. You have to know how to find it and how to get it. and let us help you with that. And again, don't be afraid. Your success is on the other side of your fear. Some of these grant applications, 2 and 3 pages. All right. I want to thank you so much for hopping on. My name is Linda Peavy, creator of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers and the new AI course, AI Powered Grants Accelerator, Write Winning Grants Faster. I hope to see you in the Facebook group to know that you're doing this for yourself, where we can help you, where I can serve as your coach to help you. So thank you so much. I want you to have a blessed week and a blessed weekend and a great start to the new year. Whatever you do, keep moving forward. You are needed. Your services are needed. You are needed. Don't let anybody tell you other. Just keep moving forward. And there's ways that you don't have to consistently keep using all of your own money. The grants are available. Go after them. And I would be glad to be in a position to help you do that. All right. So thank you so much and keep moving forward. Have a great week. Bye bye.